Testing. How's it going, guys? Cameron here with Canadian Gamer, coming at you with a little bit of a video response here to Raji Retro Gamer and David Plays Games Badly. I think that's the name of the channel. A couple of lads from the UK, and yeah, those guys out there in Europe, they're putting out a lot of good content. Drink of the day, not beer of the day, drink of the day. Twisted tea, hard iced tea mixed with vodka. This is raspberry. A nice feminine drink for Canadian Gamer. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I don't want this video to drag on. And that's not a knock against Raji, because his video is about 45 minutes long. I'm just sort of pressed for time. I got other stuff going on, so I got to rip through. If my video was 45 minutes long with my shitty ass internet, it would probably take 3 days to upload. So let's get to it. So these guys put out a video response to somebody else in the community out their way. And the question was, I don't know if it was a question, but basically, you know, what are your favorite games for each video game console that you own? Now, I can't, unfortunately, do every single console that I own, because, again, we would be here all day. You know, as an example, the Game Boy, the GBA. Talking about the mini consoles, you know, I could technically throw in the SNES in there and the NES. I'm not going to do that today. But I'm just going to rip through these games really, really quickly. And I didn't put a lot of thought into this. I tried to, given the limited amount of time that I have right now. But we'll start with the Nintendo Switch. And there's a little bit of a caveat to this. These are my most favorite games for each system based on what I've played, because I have a lot of games that I haven't gotten to yet. So this could easily change. You know, if I get really immersed in another game that I have had sitting on the shelf for 3 years, this could change. But we'll start with the Nintendo Switch. From what I have played so far, Rayman Legends is my favorite game that I own for the Switch. I was really blown away by this. I guess I'm cheating in a way, because this is sort of a multi-plat game, so a lot of these are going to be like that. But, you know, I thought about putting Quake for the Switch on here. But no, I think Quake, to have the best experience for that, would be playing it on your PS4, your PS5, or your Xbox. But Rayman Legends on the Switch, on the go, handheld game. So much content in this game. One of the best platformers I have played in recent memory. This is just an amazing game. You know, especially, I think I paid $20 for this at GameStop. It was well worth it. Trust me when I say this is right up there, you know, with Donkey Kong Country and a lot of the classic platformers. This blows away. I'm not a huge fan of the original Rayman, and I have it for the PS1. I'm not a huge fan of it, but this blows it away. This is really good. So yeah, Nintendo Switch, Rayman Legends. Awesome game. Really awesome. PlayStation 4. I don't have a huge library of games for the PlayStation 4. And again, I'm kind of cheating here, because this was also on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. But Far Cry 3 Classic Edition, I got really immersed in this. I know this game needs no introduction, but to me, I had it on the 360. I couldn't get on with it, and I tried it twice, 3 times. I couldn't get into it. And then what happened was I went and played Far Cry 4, and I really liked it. And I played Far Cry 5, and then I went back to Far Cry 3. And man, the Classic Edition too, it just runs and looks really good on the PS4. And I just got sucked into the storyline. Being on the island there is Jason Brody, and who could forget Voss? You know, this game was created by Ubisoft Montreal. I'm in Montreal tomorrow, by the way. So maybe if I have a chance, I'll swing by the Ubisoft headquarters. If I don't swing by that other place first there, the one that everybody's pissed off about, What's the name of that company? Remind me later. You guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Far Cry 3 Classic Edition. This was a memorable experience for me, one that I will not forget. I really enjoyed it a lot. So, there you have it. Yeah. So, PlayStation 3. I wanted to start with the old consoles and work my way to the newer consoles, but we're all over the map here. So, PlayStation 3. You know me, eclectic taste. I'm going to go with Heavy Rain. I really enjoyed this game a lot. I really did. And, you know, I like these sort of slow-paced, not point and click, but you're walking around sort of. This is what sort of a lot of people are on the fence about Senua's Saga there, the new game that came out on the Xbox Series console, but this is sort of in the same vein, right? You could even put Beyond Two Souls, which I contemplated putting on here as my favorite PS4 game, and this is the PS3 with the steel book. I really like this one too. I liked it a lot. But no, Heavy Rain was really good, really immersive, and it is one that I would definitely go back and play again. I love these types of games where you just get so immersed in the story, and yeah, fantastic experience. You guys, a lot of you guys, I'm sure, have played Heavy Rain, and yeah, awesome. Original Xbox, I'm actually going to just throw it out there. No surprise. Max Payne. So Max Payne, if you guys haven't seen the Digital Foundry video that was put out a couple of months ago, they were playing, John Linneman and Alex Battaglia were playing Max Payne on the PS2, and I think John was playing it on the PC. Maybe I have it wrong. Maybe I have it the other way around. But the original Xbox version is very much like the PC version as far as the graphics are concerned, whereas the PS2 version is rough. It's rough. But yeah, I'm getting off on a tangent here. But yeah, I remember back in the day, I had a 360. I bought an Xbox One. I had an original Xbox. I was building my collection for the original Xbox. I was really unfamiliar with the library. And a coworker of mine said, "Dude, you haven't played Max Payne?" And I'm like, "No, I've never even heard of it." And he lent it to me. And I started playing it, and I immediately loved the neo-noir pulp fiction, the gritty story of this game. You know, shades of Die Hard, and a little bit of, I don't know, could you say a little bit of Tarantino in this game? But yeah, Max Payne, the sequel, is really good as well, but not as good as the original. It'll be interesting to see how the remake turns out. I will be waiting with bated breath for that to come out. I can't wait to see what that looks like. But to me, the original Max Payne, as far as original Xbox games are concerned, when I look at the library that I have a lot of good games for the original Xbox. But to me, this one holds a lot of sentimental value. I just remember I beat this game twice. This is the only original Xbox game I've actually went back and played twice. For me to play a game through twice is rare. Off the top of my head, the only other one that I've played through twice on modern consoles is the original Red Dead Redemption, which I replayed with the anticipation of RDR2 coming in. I went back and played the original Red Dead Redemption. That's how excited I was for RDR2. But yeah, Max Payne, I got it on there as my favorite OG Xbox game. Switching gears here, Nintendo Wii. Talked about this recently on the channel. Gaming Off the Grid talked about it quite a bit, as well as a few others in the gaming community. House of the Dead Overkill. Really good light gun game. If there was ever an excuse to own a Nintendo Wii, if you could only have one game and the Nyko Perfect Shot to go with it, House of the Dead Overkill. Amazing, amazing, amazing. There's no other game on the Wii that I have enjoyed as much as this. So far, I have a lot of games to get to, but so far, House of the Dead Overkill, baby. Love it. Love it. Now, let's talk about the Xbox 360. Let me take a sip of my drink. I'm parched here. I'm parched. Couple of honorable mentions here. First one is the original Red Dead Redemption. I love this game so much. I might even like it more than Red Dead Redemption 2. For the longest time, this was like my favorite game of all time. I would take this over Grand Theft Auto any day of the week. I really love this game. It's like a perfect game. And the thing I love about it is even after you beat it, I spent hours just roaming the open world, hunting, and doing. I did everything on this game. I got basically 100%. Almost. I couldn't get all the achievements because some of them were locked to online play. But yeah, this game, and then you factor in Undead Nightmare, which I have as well on a separate disc, which I bought right when it came out day one. Yeah, this game actually, funny story, I had the 360. I hadn't had it for very long when this game came out, and a coworker of mine bought this, and I didn't. He bought it, and he did not like it, and he ended up selling it to me for like 30 or 40 bucks, and then I brought it home, because at the time when this came out, a lot of people didn't really know what it was. It didn't have the name recognition that Grand Theft Auto did. But this, oh man, this game is, oh my god. This is an honorable mention. Getting sidetracked here. The other honorable mention is the Saboteur. I played this through a couple months ago and I talked about it on the channel. This is, if there was a 360 game that would eventually go up in price, I could see it being this one. If you're on the hunt for it out in the wild, check to see if it's got the nude code inside. This one doesn't. Yeah, this is a really good open world game. This quickly became one of my most favorite Xbox 360 games of all time. Definitely in my top 5. If you have not played the Saboteur, definitely check it out. Awesome game. But my most favorite Xbox 360 game of all time has to be Doom 3. And I know what you're saying. A lot of you might be like, oh, this is the inferior version of Doom 3. But this is the version I played and beat. And Doom 3 became, up until recently, and we'll get to it in a minute, this was my most favorite game of all time. And in a lot of ways, it still is. So I have Doom 3 for the original Xbox, but I have not played it all the way through. So I can't say that version is my favorite version of Doom 3 yet. But Doom 3 on the Xbox 360 with all of the DLC included on the disc and the expansion pack, which I played through, and the Lost Levels. Oh man, this game is absolutely incredible. And I just noticed now, I never noticed it before. It says something about 3D on the bottom here. I'm gonna have to look into that. Can you play this in 3D? 3D glasses? Can you? I'm gonna have to look into that. There you have it. Doom 3 on the Xbox 360, BFG edition. Let's go back a couple of generations, couple of decades here. My most favorite PlayStation 1 game of all time. I don't have a huge collection. An honorable mention would probably be Gran Turismo 2, or even the original Gran Turismo. But I'm going to have to go with Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit. And the reason why I put that on there is because this game, I had it on PC growing up as a kid, and I loved it. And I have it running on my PC with the 3D effects patch enabled, and it looks incredible on the PC. But the thing is I bought this recently for the PlayStation 1, and going back and playing this on the PlayStation 1 with the gritty graphics without the 3D effects patch, I almost kind of like it more like that. It gives it a little bit of character. It reminds me of how I played it back in the day on my PC. But yeah, no, this is definitely my most favorite Need for Speed game in the franchise. One that we'll probably never see it get remastered, unfortunately. I wouldn't even care if the game didn't get remastered. If somehow Electronic Arts could just re-release this game. But I don't think it's going to happen with the licensing of these cars. But you never know, because Hot Pursuit, the remake, got re-released a couple of years ago. But yeah, all that being said, Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit, this was an easy choice as my most favorite PlayStation 1 game of all time. And then we switch over to PlayStation 2. Now, I'm pretty new to PlayStation 2. I've only had a PS2 for, I don't know, how long has it been? 7 or 8 years, maybe a little bit longer. I know I bought God of War, which I had never played before, which I have here, and I was blown away by this. I love this game. I don't like the new God of War games. I played through God of War on the PS4 and I didn't really like it. But God of War, I really, 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 really love this game. That being said, God of War 2. This is my most favorite PlayStation 2 game of all time. This game, Santa Monica Studios, really pushed the PlayStation 2 to the limits as far as what the console was capable of, because you have to remember this came out late in the life cycle of the PS2, and if I'm not mistaken, I think the PS3 was already on the market when this came out. You want to talk about the PlayStation 2 being the weakest of the 6th gen consoles? I think it all depends on who's programming for the console, because when you look at this game, the graphics in this game are more impressive than probably anything I've seen on the original Xbox or the Dreamcast. That's how impressive this game is. And you get the game, and you also get a DVD that goes with it as well. I think it's like a little bit of a making of documentary, but yeah, dirt cheap game you can find out in the wild. I think I beat this last year. Long game too, really long. But no, this is a fantastic game. People ask me all the time, what's your most favorite PS2 game? I always say God of War 2. And there's a lot of good PlayStation 2 games out there, but that's my pick for my most favorite PS2 game. Now, my favorite Xbox One series game, I lumped them together because it's the same console, right? It's not much different. It's going to be Starfield. It's going to be Starfield. Man, do I ever love this game. This is my most favorite game of all time. This has eclipsed Doom 3 as my most favorite game of all time. This is the Steelbook Edition. I'm almost tempted to go onto the classifieds to see if I can get the collector's edition that comes with the watch and all the goodies. But yeah, I have nothing bad to say about this. I know there's some haters out there. This one even comes with a nice little constellation patch, excuse me, and the Shattered Space DLC. But yeah, I'm constantly blown away by Starfield. It's my most favorite open world game of all time. I think this is way better than any of the Fallout games, which I do love as well. So I'm a huge advocate and a huge fan of Starfield. And I cannot wait for the Shattered Space DLC to come out. I'm putting a lot of time into this right now. I'm leveling up my character. And honest to God, you know, as far as, I don't want to go on a tangent here, but as far as current gen is concerned, I'm not really, and I'm not saying this to be a hater, I'm not seeing anything coming out on the PS5 that really blows me away. And I gotta say, if I had a PS5 and I was a huge fan of Bethesda, I would feel a little bit pissed off not being able to play this game. I would. I'm just saying, I'm just calling it as it is. So, although the PS5 is outselling the Xbox Series X 10-1 or whatever it is, honestly, I'm glad I bought a Series X instead of a PS5 because I really wanted to play this really bad. And yeah, it's perfect game for me. It's perfect. Last but not least, Sega Genesis. Most favorite game of all time. I have to put this on here because this is the game that drove Master System Marceau to complete insanity. Outrun. Yes, I love Outrun. Outrun is so much fun. Even though, you know, the more research I do on the series, the more you kind of realize that maybe the TurboGrafx, not the TurboGrafx, but the PC Engine version of this is the better version. And when you look even further in on it, Sega didn't actually develop this for the Genesis. It was another dev team that did it. But no, it's still a good game. And don't get me wrong. It would still be my most favorite Genesis game. Here I am showcasing my most favorite Genesis game, and I'm dogging on it. But no, I had so much fun learning how to play this game, becoming, as I press down on my steelbook here. Jesus Christ! I had my elbow down on the steelbook here, putting a nice dent in it. Fuck, I'm an idiot. Yeah, for those of you who don't know the story, a lot of people that play Outrun, whether it's in the arcade or on the Genesis or whatever version you play, a lot of people don't actually take the time to learn how to play it. They just go through it really quickly, and then you run out of time. Oh, it's a cool arcade game, but whatever. And then you move on, right? But if you actually put the time in and you learn how this game plays as far as the gameplay mechanics are concerned, and you can get through all the stages, and then you can start getting really good hot laps, really good speed runs, you realize how deep this game is. And not only that, you realize how much more technical this game is compared to even a lot of modern arcade racers. Like that one that came out on the modern consoles there. I bought it, I'm trying to look to see which one it was. I can't remember the name of it, but it kind of looks like Top Gear, but it's retro inspired. It wasn't very good, but no, Outrun for the Sega Genesis, an expensive game, but well worth it, especially if you can find it complete in box. It is just, oh my god, yeah. Like if you had to take away all my video games and I could only keep just one, it might be Outrun. So yeah, there you have it. Those are my most favorite games for each console within reason that I could show you guys here today. And this will probably all change in a couple of years, but I just wanted to get that VR out. So that's it for this video. Like I said, I'm headed out to Montreal tomorrow. When I'm there, I'll try to do a little bit of game hunting if I can. Maybe I will swing by Ubisoft headquarters. And yeah, that's it. That's it for this video. Already at 22 minutes. Holy God. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good night.